Hello, everybody. It's so exciting to be back with the SBC community. I wish we could be back in the New York facility like we were last year, but unfortunately, things being as they were, we'll have to settle for this. Really happy to be here with you. My name is Bruce Ivory. I'm with Agora.io. Joining me as well is Ali. Ali is our European counterpart. And today we wanted to just
Hi,
join and
everybody.
talk a little bit about what we're seeing in the marketplace when it comes to casinos, what we're seeing in regards to sports books, and so on and so forth. With the pandemic and things being the way they are, we're seeing a new added focus on the mobile platforms and on the digital platforms due to the fact that casinos and sports books and so on and so forth, when it comes to the physical, being there physically is a little bit tough right now. There's been a new added focus on the digital platforms. And many of our customers are coming to us and saying, hey, how do we attract the younger gambler? How do we keep the folks on our platform? And what do we do to continue to monetize and get creative when it comes to monetization? And that's what I wanted to talk to you folks today, is about how and why you need to really or look at potentially increasing the interactivity on your platforms. And it's all about differentiating yourself from your competitors and so on and so forth. So let's dive right into it. Let's first of all focus on interactivity because, of course, as you see on this slide, we believe that interactivity will equal the engagement, and then the engagement will obviously bring the monetization. But let's focus on the interactivity first and foremost. What we're saying by interactivity is let's find unique ways to get your gamers more social. Basically, we know that in the past, poker and gambling has not been the most social activity in the world. But what we're finding is that the younger gambler and the audience that is now coming into the gambling space is more used to having a very personalized experience when they're online, and they're all more and more social as they're coming into the gambling spaces. They're finding that they're not seeing a lot of the social activities that they're normally used to seeing when they're playing a game, when they're gambling online, and so on and so forth. So what we talk to sports books about, what we talk to a lot of the gambling platforms about, is how to increase interactivity, how to bring these gamblers together, and how to bring these players together into more of a community. Because what we're noticing as well is that many of the folks that go to these places are not just looking to necessarily gamble, but they're looking to kind of use that as their social getaway. It's not just about escaping anymore. It's about being social and using this as their social getaway. And to give you an idea of what we're talking about, I just want to kind of share my screen for a minute and just give a live demo to show you what games and online platforms are doing to make their games more social. So just give me a second here. I'm going to share my screen. It usually is a small delay, but just bear with me here, and I'll just give you an idea of what one of our clients are doing to make his game a little bit more social. What is he doing to allow his gamers to play with friends, to watch with friends, to basically keep people on his platform longer? And this is kind of a game that he built using our technology, using the voice and video technology that Agora has. And this is the game that he came up with. I'll just give you an idea.
Folks, I apologize if that was a little bit
Quite as clear and crisp, as clean as we'd like it to be. Sometimes when you're showing video on top of video, it's sometimes not as clear as you'd like it to be, but you get an idea of what it's like to have your friends at the table with you when you're playing poker. Why can't I get online and play blackjack with my buddies and actually see their faces while we're playing blackjack online? These are the types of experiences that many of the folks in the gaming world are trying to create to keep folks on their platform longer, to attract new and younger gamblers. And that these are just sort of the things that they're doing to invent new games, to make them more social, to get people on their platform, and to attract, of course, that new younger gambler. Some of the other things that folks are doing is they're starting to stream their tournaments online. They're starting to stream them live all around the globe and make them more interactive. There's no reason why you couldn't stream some of your table games and show and let different folks all around the world get together in a watch party and see that tournament with their friends. We've seen some tournaments add in text chat so you can chat and talk about what's going on in the game as well while you're watching it. But having that specialized watch party that you and your friends are a part of, it just makes it much more specialized and more personalized for you as a user. And that's what we're doing to help these different platforms get folks to the platform, keep them there, and make them more intrigued. There's lots of different things you can do, but when I go to a sports book and I go to make a bet, the first thing I want to do is call my buddy who I know is also going to make a bet. The first thing I want to do is really engage with the other folks that I know that are smart and that can give me good advice, is I want to get in touch with them. Well, why not allow them to congregate on your platform? When I'm picking my fantasy football team, I love to have my guys and the whole team there with me while we can pick online and look at the same content together. All of these different types of feature functionalities are possible, and what they do is they seamlessly help you build community while you're bringing folks to your platform. Why not allow them to congregate and actually socialize content while they're consuming it? These are just some of the things that we do to help folks make their platforms a little bit more attractive. Ali, you can add in anything here that you like.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I think you covered most of the subject. So something that is very important also to maybe to dig in a little bit is the fact that we have a global network on the sensitivity of the synchronization between the data on the video. Let's say, for example, you are live streaming a casino table, for example, or even for communication between players. We need to make sure that the gaming data is synchronized with the content. So we are able to cover that very easily because of the fact that in terms of latency, we are below 300 milliseconds. So we are talking here about ultra low latency, intra-region on extra region as well. So this is something very important. Big differentiator, very different than what CDNs can offer on that space, by the way.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point, Ali, and I'm definitely going to jump into our network here and why some of these brands come to Agora. There's a big differentiator with Agora than with some of the other folks that you may be typically using to stream your gameplay. One of those big differentiators, of course, is the latency of the network. Agora prides itself on our latency. We have a global network made up of over 200 data centers globally, and what we do is we enable, because of the fact that our network is managed via artificial intelligence, and we use patented algorithms to route traffic around any congestion. We're not relying on WebRTC. We're not relying on the internet to pass your traffic. What we're doing is using our algorithms and our patented algorithms to route around that traffic to guarantee you get the user experience that you're looking for. And here's the reason why live engagement and having engagement on your platforms is so important. It's because it's important to everyone. 85% of the folks that play games want to play live. 85% of the folks that are watching any type of content on television or online, they're watching it because it's live. Live engagement is always going to be much more appealing than anything that's recorded. And there's different ways to have that live engagement on your platform. You can do that through games by allowing folks to talk together while they're playing. You could do that by enabling the gamers themselves to talk. You can do that by allowing watch parties, so that if gamers or your professional gamers are having a tournament, maybe you could allow a watch party where I can watch with my friends and learn some different tips from the pros and so on and so forth. What we're using this technology for on the platform, and it sounds very simple, but really it's just all about letting people do things with the people they care about. It's all about letting people play and enjoy platform and enjoy content with friends. What we've seen is that when you do things with friends, you tend to do it more often. You do it more passionately. And I know many of you have told me, and I've met with many of you out there that have told me that gambling isn't the most social activity in the world, and that is true. That is true. It's not the most social, but the fact of the matter is the gamers are changing and gaming is changing. And the idea of gaming, poker, and sports is all coming together. We know that I don't remember the last time I walked into a casino all by myself. I don't remember the last time I really went to a sporting event all by myself. These are all things that are already today social, but when it comes to the online experience, we haven't quite gotten there when it comes to the social experience. And that's what we're trying to do, is make gaming more fun, make it more social, attract newer, younger players, and take it from there. As we mentioned before, one of the main reasons why folks work and come to Agora is because of our network. We guarantee that reliability. Most of you folks out there have been very creative and very innovative when it comes to your live dealer games. Those are all very, very cool. That's one way to step up the engagement in your game, is to have a live dealer. But now we're saying, hey, what do you think about trying to take things another step and having live player? Why not have a live player, maybe not necessarily giving feedback right there in real time, live play, but having the players be able to communicate with one another while they're playing. You know, maybe you want to keep the actual controls of the game digital, but when it comes to communication, there's just nothing like it. You know, and just to let you folks know, the features that we're talking about are not looked at as a liability. They're looked at as assets because of the fact that this engagement always tends to bring more revenue. You could do it in the form of virtual gifting. Sometimes when you have a dealer who deals you a great hand, you might want to give a tip. Maybe there's a player that you're watching in a watch party that does something really great, and you watched him play a hand, and he shows how really bold and brave he is. You might want to give him a virtual tip. That you can actually, you know, create really great revenue streams from without really seamlessly doing relatively anything. I mean, once you implement the virtual gifting, it just becomes a revenue stream that anybody can gift anybody for anything. And it just becomes a revenue stream. So just important to know that a lot of this isn't about spending more money. It's about how to create new revenue streams while also making gaming more attractive to your gamers. Ali, did you have a comment?
I'm good so far.
Great. So this is what we do. Our network is purpose-built for real-time engagement, and it was purpose-built for mobile devices. Many of your games are being played on mobile devices, and that's really where we shine. That's really what we've done first. We've taken care of that last mile first. With the explosion of folks online right now, if you're relying on the internet or WebRTC to simply pass your traffic, you're probably noticing some issues lately because of the amount of people online and because of the number of people that are doing education online, gaming online, you name it, training, physical training. Everybody is online right now, and there are things that we can do to make sure that your traffic gets to where it's supposed to be before anyone else, or not necessarily before anyone else, but it gets there seamlessly so that that communication is very, very clear. What I wanted to do is leave it open here the last few minutes of the presentation. I wanted to leave it open for Q&A. So if you had any questions, feel free to type some in right now as we go. I'm not sure if you're able to jump on live and speak to us a little live here, but we definitely wanted to save some time to allow for questions. So folks, did you have any questions about your particular platform or your game or your online, maybe it's possibly about your sports book? We're here to take any questions. Looks like Q&A. There's one here. Great to hear. Thus far, I like the sun. Okay.
So we'll definitely send you, Maurice, the slides. So I have your email address, so I will send that to you. So Maurice was asking for the slides.
Okay. Anyone requesting the slides, these are open. We could send more information. I didn't want to make this super technical and get too much into the back, into the weeds of things. I really want you to see from a user experience what we bring to the table. I know it may sound simple. Hey, let people talk while they're on your platform. That may sound simple, but it really goes a long way. It really goes a long way. You go a long way in building your community and also bringing people back because they have more fun. When you have more fun with an activity, you tend to try it and do it more again and again.
Yeah. We have a question here. So do you guys have virtual games? I would like to know, so I recommend to our business. So we don't have like games contents by itself. So what we do provide is a pipe with a global network of hundreds of servers, like more than 200 data centers in 150 countries. So that's our backend. That's what we put on top of the public internet in order to provide a very high quality of experience. And beside that, we provide SDKs, so which allows you to embed live social interaction within existing virtual games or new virtual games, or so that's the most common use case. So add a social layer on top of your existing games. And the second use case is being able to live stream a physical casino. So a live poker table, a live roulette table, a live bingo, or any games that could be played together, basically. So that's what we allow, but we don't provide virtual games or virtual games content, basically. If it's
right.
If it's the question.
What we do. That's true. What we do is we provide the building block for the voice, video, and interactive streaming, and we let you put it on your game. We let you build a game with it. We let you build. We let you stream your eSports tournament. We let you stream your gaming tournaments. We let you enable voice, video, and/or group chat while you're on platform. We just provide the voice, video, and interactive streaming as a building block, and we let you build on top of it. And we let you build your game on top of that. When it comes to esports, we do the exact same thing. When it comes to an esports tournament, we can help stream that tournament. When it comes to esports play, we can enable the gamers to actually communicate on platform. Instead of going and using a different platform to stream your games, you could stream it from your own platform and really have 100% control of the monetization from that gaming event. So that's just the empowerment that we give to you.
Something important to mention, especially about eSport, is that with our SDK on a single channel, you can have up to 1 million participants, like audience. So up to 1 million people watching a channel in the same channel. So on even more than that. So in terms of scalability, you can reach very high level with our SDK. So we have different type of technologies. We have interactive use cases where you will have like multiple players talking to each others. Another use case with another technology that we have is live streaming or live broadcasting, where you can have 1 to 17 hosts or 1 to 17 speaker on up to 1 million audience. So that's a use case as well. So you can either do it via video or voice only as well. So you have both options. Yeah.
Right. And one of the major differences between Agora and some of the other folks that you'll see out there in this business is that we focus on interaction. There's plenty of platforms out there that can stream your gameplay out to tons of people and just have it go one way. When we talk about platforms interaction, we refer to hearing back from those folks that are out there seeing your stream, letting them interact with one another while they're consuming your content. These are big differentiators that really can make your platform much different from others, is that you're letting people communicate while they're on your platform, and you're keeping 100% control of any of the monetization to those gamers. All right. Okay. So to answer the question, no, we do not provide the games themselves. We basically enable you to build your game with our voice and video or interactive streaming. Or if you have a pre-existing game that's on an application, as Ali mentioned, you could plug us in to that pre-existing platform.
Yeah.
All right.
But you can, if you can provide your email in the text chat. In the question part, we might have partners that could potentially provide virtual games and then work with us in order to implement the social layer.
What I'm showing on screen now is just a few of the poker games that are starting to add the ability to play with friends. What they're noticing is that gamers are more and more becoming social, and they want the ability to play with folks that they know, because that's what's going to bring them back time and time again. And even if you don't, even if you have social games, this is great for social games. I know I go online all the time and play games with my buddies, but if we were able to see each other, that's a whole different ball game. See and actually hear each other's voice while we play is a whole different ball game. When I go on my betting websites, if I'm able to actually reach out to my other buddy who's also going to be making a bet, I definitely would do that. If I could get my team together, my fantasy team together, all on one platform over voice and video to pick our players all at the same time, watch the same content at the same time, maybe even watch the draft in real time over your platform, even if it's just a name popping up and not the actual video. We could do that all at the same time, pick our players. It's just a way to get people together, and that's really what the Agora motto is. It's really all about interactivity. And with that said, I think I'm not sure if there's any more. Let's take a look if there's any more questions.
So yeah, there's a last question. So do you have any real money casino or sports betting customers currently?
Okay. Ali?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Ali.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yes.
Perfect. So yeah, go ahead, Bruce.
Yes, the example I just gave just a moment ago, where I showed the live YouTube video, that was actually a real money game. You actually can bet real money in that game. These games above are also, the game I have on screen right now is actually a real money game as well. So yes, some folks are actually using gamification inside of their studios, along with voice and video, doing some type of real-time engagement to win money, to win prizes, and they're using this technology. But yes, these are real money games. Yes, we do have a question about whether the games are real time or if the virtual games are offline, on real time or offline. These are real time games being played in real time live. So at any time you can go on these games and see a live game going on and actually join that game at that time. Sometimes you can actually go on any number of these games and actually say, I want to start a new game, and invite my friends, invite other attendees to play. So, but yes, all of these are real time games. And I believe we answered all the questions so far. Okay, I think that should do it. I think we're almost out of time here shortly. Do we have any more questions from the audience? And the email, anytime we get an email here in the Q&A, we'll be sure to send out the presentation and or answers to your questions in a little bit more detail as well. So at Cloud, we'll be sending you out a presentation and some answers to your questions as well. All right. Okay, I think that should do it for us. If you do have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us directly. My name, once again, is Bruce Ivory, and I can be reached here at bruce@agora.io. This is my direct dial, so feel free to give me a ring anytime you like, or shoot me an email. We can answer any questions for you. What I will say a lot of times is that people, when we show different platforms this type of technology, they sometimes get a little worried because that's not really what they do. You know, they're specialists in casino gaming, and you're a specialist in entertainment. You're not really necessarily an IT shop. What I want you folks to do is feel very comfortable in engaging with Agora about this, because we do have the expertise in-house and or through partners to get this implemented onto your platform. I can tell you that a lot of our engineers can do this relatively quickly. It's not a very lengthy process, but we do dedicate, for every single one of our customers, every single one of our prospects, we dedicate an engineering team to that particular prospect, to that brand, to help them get up and running and help them go live. So that's also a differentiator we have, is that we allocate different resources, whether they be development resources and or engineering resources, to help you go live. So that's just another added resource that we give to a lot of our customers to help them go live. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will be sending out the slides. Ali, if you wanted to end off on anything, feel free.
Yeah, cool. So I think we covered every aspect. So yeah, we are. So regarding the last question, whether we have client in the gaming space using it. So of course we have, and we are seeing more and more businesses from this industry coming to us, especially with the actual situation. So a lot of casinos are closed. A lot of money is lost also, unfortunately. So this is also a good way for many businesses with the physical presence to build an online presence, but also to keep this social interaction between people. And that's the most important thing. So if you think about it, it's quite similar to the video game. So video games before, we were used to play it, with friends at home, etc. So then it becomes like connected through the internet with like global players from everywhere. So and then they needed to add this layer of voice chat and communication chat on top of the game to make it like more interactive and more better to play and to be engaged with. So that's quite similar to the e-gaming, the betting, gambling industry, etc. So even if you do provide a virtual game, so your player will still need to have this social interaction, and that's something very important. Otherwise, you're gonna miss a lot of things.
Well, one last thing I want to add is that you're able to book a meeting with us at any time. We're over in booth A7. That was A as in Apple, Lucky 7, A7. Please feel free to stop by the booth. You can book a meeting with us anytime. We have engineers and our sales resources there at the booth who can answer any questions you have. And please stop by. We'd love to talk to you. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. We'll jump now, and appreciate your time.
Thank you, everyone.